We're Mike and Taylor. And these are our dogs, Penny and Lucy. We sold our home and nearly all of our belongings, moved onto a 40-foot boat, and sailed from Seattle. Embarking on the adventure of a lifetime.
Oh my God.
This is the story of us forging our own path, exploring the world in via, figuring it all out as we go, and making our way. We made it to Newport, Oregon.
Yay. We're stuck in Newport, Oregon.
We made our first leg of our journey down the coast, and we didn't really feel much, and just wanted to kind of recap some highs and lows from it, because it was, there were some highs and there were some lows, and most of us were too seasick. I say most of us, but it was really just me and Penny. You were okay.
The first day I didn't feel great. Part of we didn't film is you weren't feeling well, and I think I was just focused on, like, even though there wasn't a whole lot to do, we motored almost the entire time. But I think it was just like our first time, so just kind of focused on what was happening. How was it different, or what you expect? How did it compare to your expectations?
We saw a way bigger swell than I was expecting, and I was expecting some swell because we were very kindly, although it did kind of send shivers down my spine at the time, warned by a fellow cruiser that coming out of the mouth of the strait is just a mess. That whole area is just intimidating and like confused and sloppy and a little bit sporty. She also continued to tell us that this passage in general, so just going from, the Seattle area, Puget Sound, Pacific Northwest, whatever, to like Southern California, is
San Francisco,
unlike any passage we'll ever make again in our entire sailing career, very likely, because it's just got such specific conditions to it. Like the North Pacific it's kind of its own beast, and so that surprised me. Even though I was kind of expecting it to be a little, I was also expecting it to be kind of mild, because the forecast read mild.
Yeah, we specifically were looking for very mild,
right? And
we chose a window with like basically no wind. And we ended up, the forecast was accurate at least.
Yeah,
but
it was.
Yeah, the swell was bigger than I expected that first day, and it started earlier, started way in the strait.
It was kind of wild, actually, but
a fairly uneventful passage. We saw,
which is good. That's what we wanted.
Whale. We saw Dall's porpoises, which are super cool.
That was bananas.
We saw some crazy bioluminescence, which you can't catch on camera anyway, unfortunately. But
some good meteors from the Perseid meteor shower.
Yeah. But then day 2 and day 3 were just kind of motoring in
so
overcast
much fog. We lived in like a silver box.
Yeah.
Like our visibility was low. There wasn't any wildlife. We were just motoring along, and just, I don't know. Everything was damp and cold, and I wouldn't call anything about that experience enjoyable.
I started to enjoy it the second day, but I was starting to feel better.
Yeah.
But it was still motoring is never very fun.
Seasickness is never fun.
Yeah, and not enough wind to kind of steady the boat, because wind in the sails sort of helps to steady you, so we didn't have that, so it was just very rolly.
So I got super seasick, and so I barfed off the back a little bit, and then instantly felt better, and then instantly felt worse. So it was a roller coaster, just trying to figure out how to live in one seat in the cockpit, essentially, because I couldn't come downstairs and I couldn't do anything. So Mike took care of everybody.
You still did watches and stuff. I mean, it was pretty badass, for sitting out there and throwing up, but you still did your watches and
I was throwing up on my I would just sit in the chair and then turn around and go down the back, and then just kind of. And it's not like you can sit back and like enjoy the sunshine and the views. You know, it's like freezing cold. I was in 7 layers. You know, my fingers were literally pruny for 8 hours one day.
It didn't rain, but everything would get wet
Soaked.
with the fog, because in the mornings it would be foggy and just everything was just wet and cold, and so.
Yeah, no, all things considered, I think it was pretty good. It was pretty, you know, it wasn't sporty. There's not a lot to write home about. And we pulled into Newport, Oregon, and opted to not keep going to Crescent City for a couple reasons. But so we pulled in here, and we were very surprised to find out that going over the sandbar was fine. Pulling in the channel was fine, but docking the boat at the Newport Marina was not only the like most intense part of that entire passage, but the most intense moment we have had on Via, period.
Yeah. Easily.
Oh my god. We made it to Newport, and that shit was crazy. It
Just docking.
was crazy in here.
We had
Crazy.
a super strong current that makes its way into the marina. We had, I don't know, I didn't look. We had a good crosswind.
Yeah.
Which those two things are enough to make it difficult to control almost any sailboat, especially if you don't have a bow thruster. But there were dozens of little fishing boats, like little 20, 25-foot fishing boats.
It's Saturday afternoon. People are drinking.
It's like a fishing
no
mecca.
one cares, you know? Because everybody can just zip around, and it's like...
They're like 20-foot boats with 400 horsepower, so they can do whatever they want.
And we're like a tank coming in, like, we can't stop. And this marina is not big. You know, you only have this much space, and it was just like...
Oh my god, that was like crazy. We almost bowled over like 2 people in a dinghy because it just wouldn't get out of the way, and we couldn't stop because there's like a current pushing us through the marina with a wind behind us, and they just didn't want to move. Almost 3 knots of current. Maybe it's more than 3 knots of current.
You can see it in the water just out on the other side of our boat.
We were at full throttle just to make headway against the current when I turned around out there. And then, you know, into the current, so then I just started like doing this like shimmy.
The Tokyo drift.
I was literally on the bow yelling at people to move. Like, it was bonkers. And Mike performed like the most insane...
I blacked out.
just the most insane maneuver to get us side on to the dock, and we managed to tie up. But that was like... I slept for like 14 hours that night, and I think half of that was from the stress of docking the boat. But anyway... We made it, and apologies for not filming so much for you guys. I have written a full account if anybody is interested in just reading through the details of all of it, so that's available for you guys. We just wanted to kind of come in and recap a little bit about our trip and say that we made it here, and we're going to be in Newport for a minute. We've already been here for like 5 days, and the 10-day forecast at this writing looks like we don't even have a break, so...
Here we leave, and then you pretty quickly get to Point Blanco and then Mendocino, which are kind of the big capes that you have to get around, and it's like blowing a gale and higher for the next 10 days. The cool thing is that the dock is filled up with other sailboats heading south.
Yeah, so we were the first sailboat here, screamed our way through the marina. It's claim our spot on the dock. But since then, like 6 or 8 other sailboats have all pulled in, and we're all... Can I say we're all in the same boat?
Yeah.
We're all on the same dock. I don't know. But we're all just sitting here like, oh, we're not going anywhere. But we're all on the same path too, in the same trajectory. Most of us are all going down to Mexico as well. And we all kind of got to talk to people yesterday.
Just fun. We kind of had our first little like cruisers gathering on the dock yesterday.
Yeah, it was
talked
neat.
Weather and plans. And
So,
twiddling your thumbs.
So we're going to be exploring Newport a little bit, kind of getting some work done, laying low. It's really cold and foggy here. It's not really like August weather. It kind of feels like fall again. So making some stews and soups and just refreshing the weather every morning and seeing when we can make our escape. And we're probably all going to caravan out together. We're going to have like a...
Which is cool.
It is cool.
It's nice having other sailors to like right here to kind of discuss it. And
you know.
I'm proud of us though. I'm happy.
I know. I am too. I was like shell shocked when we pulled in that day, and it took me a couple days to come back to life. But I'm starting to feel like myself again here. So I don't know. There's a beautiful beach here. We'll explore. And leg 1 down, and leg 2 TBD.
Yeah.
I don't know. going out to explore the beach. The Oregon Coast Beach. Did you just get caught peeing?
No, they didn't quite. Just finished before they crested the little hill.
It's hard to find people. They just disappear in these little valleys.
Yeah.
Next time on Sailing Via. So we may be stuck in Newport, but we eating good in Newport, okay?
It's too late to start drinking.
No?
I finished all my beer.
What is time? We live in an alternate universe right now.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna eat some cookies and put my bathrobe on.
I might saute some beef and onions.
Beef sauteed with peas and onions.
What is it?
It's a trifle. It's got all of these layers. First, there's a layer of ladyfingers, then a layer of jam, then custard, which I made from scratch. Then raspberries, more ladyfingers, then beef sauteed with peas and onions, more custard, and then bananas, and then I just put some whipped cream on top.